Moving on to hopefully something a bit lighter, we have good old Zachary Griggs with topic
right.
number 4.
I thought we could talk about some movies.
Yes.
Nice light topic. More specifically, I and many other people, especially critics, are posing the question of, is Hollywood stuck in a rut? Are we churning out an endless cycle of sequels, of superhero movies, of superhero sequels? Are we not having any new ideas? I do have some numbers on this. The top grossing movies of the summer this year are Finding Dory, which
Sequel.
is an animated sequel.
Yes.
Captain America Civil War, which is a superhero sequel.
Yes.
And surprisingly, this I believe it was Secret Life of Pets or Zootopia.
Zootopia,
Zootopia.
probably.
I think it was Zootopia.
But Secret Life sold.
Secret
Really?
Life was awesome.
Zootopia, Zootopia is my favorite movie of the year.
It was good.
I like it.
Zootopia
very
was
good.
my favorite movie of the year until tonight. I saw a movie before getting back to campus that I will talk about in a second.
Okay.
Because it ties into my next point. But Zootopia was my favorite movie up until then.
Zootopia, my thing with Zootopia is it was a children's movie. However, this movie touched on very hard adult topics,
Yes, it
It
did.
did a lot.
such
Would you like
as
to elaborate?
race. You know, like you had, guess what? The foxes, ooh, they're always sneaky and trying to steal stuff and pull things over on you. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Also, his name was Red.
Yeah.
His name
His
was
name was a color.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Lots of stereotypes
Lots of
fleshed out
stereotypes
in the
in
movie.
There was
Pretty
sexism.
interesting. Yeah.
Yes.
The woman cop.
Yeah.
the like small. They specifically made her small for that.
They did.
You're too small to do this. You're not good enough to do this. You'll never make it.
Yeah. There was drug trafficking and political corruption.
And can I say, they portrayed all fat people as lazy people who sit on desks and do nothing but eat things.
You talking about the little leopard cop?
Yes, yes I am.
Sit
Yeah.
on desks.
Yeah, well, he didn't sit on a desk, but he always had his feet like propped up on top of the desk.
And he always had food.
Yes, always had food.
Specifically donuts, because he was a cop.
Donuts.
Yeah.
And he had good taste. So,
True. Also true.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it was
So-
a good movie.
what do we think about this? Do we
Okay.
think that we, as well as the American market, are getting tired of sequels?
No, obviously
No?
not. I
Really?
mean, no. That's the thing, right? Like, okay, so here is how what film has kind of adapted into. You take something that you like, right? Or maybe you take a few things that you like, and you're gonna tweak them just a little bit, just to
Okay.
where it's not so noticeable, and then you're gonna put it out there, and people are going to be like, oh, well, that's like this, and that's like this, and they put this together, and they made this. Oh, man, that's crazy awesome.
Yeah.
The reason I bought Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth was because somebody said it's like Pokemon and Persona.
Yeah.
It's the same things.
Yeah.
Just stuck them
Two
together.
things that you like put together, there you go.
All right.
Also,
I
I
mean-
can promise you that people are not over sequels yet.
I think sequels still have a long way to go. Yeah.
But I know that they're not over sequels yet because I worked at a movie theater and Zootopia. I wasn't there when Zootopia happened, but
Right.
it was the number 3 movie you said, or one, like
I
top
believe it's
5.
number 3.
3. Oh.
Number 3 of
And-
the summer.
The number 1 was Finding Dory.
Number 1 was Finding Dory.
Secret Life of Pets sold decently. Angry Birds sold decently. But the reason that Finding Dory was big, the reason that The Jungle Book was big, the reason that Angry Birds was big is because they've heard these things before and people were going, oh, yeah, Nemo? I liked Nemo.
Yeah.
They're making a new Nemo? Okay, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Zootopia came out. Incredible movie. Everybody was talking about it that had seen it. This is a really good movie. You should go see this movie. I've never heard of that before. I don't really like kids movies. But
Right.
Finding Nemo has a sequel. Oh, Finding Nemo! I love Finding Nemo, even though I'm not really into kids movies anymore. I'll go see Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that growing up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a huge nostalgia factor in our society and our culture right now that I think Hollywood's playing off of, and I think that's where the sequels come from.
I think so. It's like our childhood's being remade.
Yep.
Or
Yeah.
our parents' childhood in some cases.
My problem is that here recently anyways, they've been taking these awesome movies making them into sequels, and guess what? They've been trash.
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters was bad.
Unpopular opinion, Finding Dory.
Really? I
I
never
did
saw
not
it.
like. I was unimpressed.
I thought it
I
was
didn't see
good.
it.
I think we had this conversation on a previous episode.
Huh.
But I was unimpressed.
Well,
Star Wars was a big example of that nostalgia that people.
Yep.
It was
Came in
so
and
good.
drove.
It was a
but it
good
was
example.
definitely-
It was
but
incredible.
it was just.
Yeah.
but
rehashing.
yeah, well, and Star Wars is loved the movie. I will say I love the movie. But anyone who doesn't like the movie, their argument is valid because it's always just rehashing exactly what has happened before.
Yep.
And it is. It's 100%. They took episode 4 and almost verbatim plot line of episode 4, just different characters,
Watch out.
different plays. And I mean, it's a valid argument.
They
I
made
thought
the
it was
Death
a great
Star
movie. Yeah.
Bigger, and then they
Yeah.
blew it up.
There were a lot of nuances to the story
There's
that are going
only
to be
one way to
fleshed
get
out
in.
in the sequels,
Well,
but
And that's
you're right. The main skeleton of the story was
Yeah.
very
There's only
similar.
one way to get into this giant thing that's destroying places, and it's going to be very
Yeah.
hard, and you have to have such a great shot.
Yeah.
that's
Han
the
Solo,
thing.
There's always a way to blow it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
say that.
the thing, right? Like, this movie was the skeleton was of a former movie, but I think they have laid the groundwork for hopefully better coming
Would
movies.
you say that there's a new hope for it?
Yes, I would say
Oh
that
my
there's
gosh,
a new
all right,
hope
get
for
out.
it.
All right, I'll be fine.
And I am
Yeah.
actually more excited, I think, currently about Rogue One. Looks so good.
It looks incredible.
And
Very excited
I'm
for that.
super excited for these just like one-off movies, just one-offs. We're just going to put them out there. You're going to watch them. You're going to love it.
You're gonna want more. We're not gonna give it to you.
Exactly.
For
And I'm
probably 5
okay
years,
with
'cause
that.
we're Lucasfilm, and we'll just do it later.
Hey,
Well, they're Disney now.
Yeah,
so,
Disney Lucasfilm.
yeah.
So yeah,
they're making a killing.
they are making it.
Whatever they're doing is working.
It's working well.
So I don't really blame them.
Right. Right. So
There was a
follow-up
point
point
that
to
I had,
this.
but I forgot what
Finish
it
your-
was, so go
finish your
ahead.
point. Oh, okay. All right. Follow-up point to this. We named the big 3, and from looking at charts, it was those 3 in leading the profits, and then a massive drop in everything else, and then it
Really?
kind of plateaued,
Really?
except in one area: indie films. Indie films killed this summer. Indie films, because they're making new things, they're making fresh things. I think that they kind of filled in the vacuum and released when there weren't 3 big releases stacked on top of each other in one weekend, which happened a lot this summer. So, do you think maybe this boost in exposure for indie films could help the creative festival films in the
Well,
future?
my thought on that is, at least in my hometown, none of the theaters near me give a crap about indie films.
That is true.
They don't
That's right.
release them. So I hear about these awesome indie films online and read about them, but I'm not gonna smack you. But
It would make it a lot more interesting.
but
if you-
Words.
like they're not, they don't show them. So for my theater, even though it's a big theater, we have something like 15 or 16 different
Theaters.
theaters, and but no indie films. It's just your big box office stuff.
right, right.
What you're saying reminds me of what I've been saying about video games for a while now. Is these indie video games that are coming out are unique compared to all these sequels that they're bringing out. So many sequels in the video game industry right now, and the indies are the things that are coming out with these great stories, this great new gameplay, and I agree. I think that indie market is better because of the new stuff that's coming out.
And we
Yeah.
talked about this on Trophy Pop, but just quick rehash. We're getting the same games over and over and over again. You know how many Call of Duties there are? And how many
Way too many.
and how many Battlefields there are, and how many
Way too many.
and how many games are based off of those games.
Yeah.
Too many.
Yeah.
And Titanfall comes out, and then Call of Duty goes, well, Titanfall did well, we may as well give them another Titanfall. And then Battlefield starts doing well, so somebody else goes, oh, well, let's just try another Battlefield. And it's not just shooters, it's everything. We're getting the same game repeatedly, and the only thing we're focusing on is how good they look. Let's make new content, both in movies, in video games, in comic books, let's make something new.
Yeah.
Let's create for the sake of putting something out there.
Comic books do the same thing. How many times have,
How many times have Marvel and DC rebooted their comic
How many
books?
times has there been a number one where they just start the story over so that they can tell it again and then just give us the same thing?
See, the problem with that is that with comics anyways, there's this weird, if it's not number one, well, I can't read it. I don't know what's happening because this isn't the first one. They just look at the number. But the whole thing is, it's story arcs.
Yeah,
and
they do it that way on
if
purpose.
you can just pick it up at the beginning of a story arc and be like, whatever. They're probably not going to reference back.
Story arc is once every 6 months, and if they do reference back, it's going to be something well known.
Exactly.
They're going to explain it. But the problem is that the consumer doesn't know that. The average consumer doesn't know that, and it's not
I didn't know that.
the comic book nerds like me and Logan that are going into these places that have subscriptions and buy these books weekly and know what's going on. It's the rest of the market that's like, oh, well, I watched this movie, so I think I'll go back and read the comic, but I have to start at number one. I don't think I can get into that.
Exactly.
That's too deep a hole to get into.
There's 300 of these comics. Man, I can't.
I don't know where to
this.
start.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
And they have to do it that way. But why can't we just tell stories? And tell the story we want to tell and not look at market research and go, well, people keep buying Call of Duty, so let's make another Call of Duty. Now, I understand looking at market research and saying, this is what people want.
Yeah.
But it doesn't need to be, this is what people are currently buying, so let's do that again.
This is happening in all forms of media right
Yeah,
now that
it
we're
is.
talking about.
It
In
is.
novels, you go to any bookstore and go to the James Patterson section.
Oh my gosh.
All sequels.
You know what I'm
Oh,
getting
yeah.
tired of?
What?
Seeing the same memes. That's what I'm standing
We're
for.
getting
What's
new
new
content.
memes?
Let's make new memes, people.
What movie did you see?
I saw Hunt for the Wilder People.
What now?
Or maybe it was Finding the Wilder People. I think it was called Finding the Wilder People. And it is an indie film out
Obviously.
of New Zealand.
Really?
So
Obviously.
the entire film is absolutely gorgeous. And it's this inner city butt nugget kid who
Okay.
gets taken to the hills of New Zealand. Basically all of New Zealand is the hills of New Zealand.
The middle of nowhere on the island.
Middle of nowhere, New Zealand, given to this family to straighten him up, and then plot spoiler: the wife dies, and he ends up going
Aw.
on the lam with the husband because he falls and people think he kidnaps the kid, and it's this whole big thing. But it's just them on the lam from the government, running and having all these adventures, and it's this kind of fresh thing that has unique imagery, unique way of telling
Question.
the story. Yes.
Is it good?
It was the best movie I've seen this year.
Wow.
Best new movie I've seen in a very long time. It also introduced some innovative ways of telling the story, which is something that blockbusters are usually afraid to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it introduced innovative methods of cinematography and innovative ways to score a movie and innovative ways to have the whole plot arc work. Which we could talk about for a long time. It would take a long time to explain.
One thing that
But-
upsets me is, have you seen Chronicle?
Chronicle, I have not.
It's a found footage film.
Oh,
And
those are interesting.
But see, Chronicle's the one that trademarked found footage, and it got it started for
Did
the
it
most
come
part.
before Cloverfield?
Did it come before Blair Witch? Because that's really the first found footage film.
Most people give Chronicle the credit for the first.
It is at
found
least
footage.
one of the first. I know that.
Yeah.
Chronicles.
But the
Max
whole
Landis, right?
yeah, Landis, and familiar. Wow,
Words are hard.
what was I even saying there?
That it's found
We don't
footage,
know.
new ways to tell stories.
No, I know that, phenomenal.
There you go.
Phenomenal.
There it is.
Phenomenal screenwriter. But he's also directing, he's the showrunner for the new Dirk Gently show, which looks good. It looks good. It's Elijah Wood and someone else. So it looks fun.
Could be good.
But anyways, Chronicle is given credit for being one of the first found footage films. And see, the problem is, like, found footage wasn't popular in, like, mainstream movie making. Was a little popular in indie making, and it was definitely, like, your weekend man's movie making way of doing it. Found footage was, because
Right.
it's easy. Which, but see, now the problem is, like, I'd love doing a found footage film, but
cool.
it's done so much now
Yeah.
that it's kind of, you don't want to do it because it's just another found footage film.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I mean, Paranormal Activities came out. That was a similar idea. Lots of other movies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it kind of weakened the system of people who could kind of break into that field, I feel like, because now it's like it's just another found footage thing.
I believe Max Landis is also working on a first-person movie where I think it was him that was talking about it, but the whole movie is completely filmed in first person.
Really?
They-
And it's about some kid with like powers or something. He finds out he's like a superhero or something. Not like a superhero, but like I can fly now. And it's just first person of him like trying to figure this out.
That's interesting.
That sounds very interesting.
It does. My only thing is they've already done a completely first person movie with Hardcore Henry.
That
Have
sounds
you all
awful.
heard of this?
No one has.
I saw the YouTube trailer for this movie because, for whatever reason, in front of all my YouTube videos, they decided to put this trailer. And it was not good.
Wow.
Never saw the movie,
That is a shocker.
but did not look good. It looked like it was like mostly CGI and it was weird. I don't know. It was real weird.
My favorite indie movie is I'm Reed Fish, and the cool thing about that movie is, this isn't a huge spoiler. This is one of my favorite parts of the movie, though. About halfway through the movie, or maybe a quarter way through.
It gets color.
No,
Oh.
that was unique though.
We'll put that on the docket. You should have said that on the camera.
Yeah.
Partway through the movie, you realize that what you've been watching is a movie that is being shown in a small town theater that was filmed by this local indie guy, and there's a story going on behind that. And so there's the movie being shown in the town, and then there's the actual story in the town, and both, you kind of see snippets of both.
That's kind
That
of
sounds
cool.
great. I wanna see
That
that.
sounds
They
super
They kind of
cool.
coincide a little bit. It's amazing. I love
I
that
really
movie.
like that.
I'm Reed Fish. Good movie.
We should
Oh.
watch that.
REED fish? Why? I mean, it could have been READ fish.
Yeah.
I read
It's-
fish.
I read fish.
Like I just rub their scales and I read them.
The guy is like
It's gonna rain tomorrow.
he's like a local radio host, and he also made this.
And
movie.
his name is Reed Fish.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
wow.
that's what I assumed.
What?
Well, I don't. Indie names get weird
They
when
did.
it comes
I'll
to.
give you that.
They do. Yep.
What does the name of the movie you just described have anything to do
Finding
with
the wilder
name?
people, hunting the wilder people, whatever it is, something wilder people. He finds this book of wildebeest charging and reads that the wildebeest walk 1,000 miles, and these people are on the lam in the woods for like 6 months. And he
Okay.
keeps saying, "Have we walked 1,000 miles? We're the wilder people."
Okay, now it
Yeah,
makes
now it makes
sense.
sense. Now it makes
Okay.
sense. Bad side of indie movies. I saw a film called The Lobster with Katie.
Oh no.
It was awful.
Yeah, there's
was
some
awful.
bad ones.
Five,
Like-
It sounds bad.
5-second synopsis. Like super postmodern world where if you are single, you go to this hotel. If you find love, great. If you don't, they turn you into an animal. If you're single, they hunt you. They kill you.
Huh.
Yeah. The worst movie, terrible plot. First 40 minutes, awesome. Cut it at 40 minutes, release it as a TV spot, it'd be cool. Rest of like the hour and 10 minutes after that, absolute garbage.
Oh, that
Like
sounds
they
really
had
bad.
it and
Wait,
it
it was 2 hours long?
almost 2 hours long.
Oh,
That's crazy.
Nope. Not
Absolutely terrible.
that's
So not,
way too long for an indie film,
yeah,
anyways.
not all indie movies land the plane.
no.
But when they do, I think they point people at how creative movies are good.
Yeah.
And what I want that to do is help film studios recognize that people want fresh ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Keep giving us sequels, keep giving us superheroes, get your big money, use that big money to support and bring up the indie films.
I still want superheroes.
I still want
Period.
superheroes. I want the MCU to finish out. I want DC.
I want
to stop
DCU to
sucking.
start,
Yeah,
Yeah,
begin, and get somewhere.
yeah.
what was that, Josh?
I don't think they have a chance.
I don't
Yeah,
give
I'm
two
just
farts
gonna
about
leave it.
DC characters,
I'm
but
just gonna leave it at
I
that.
want their movies to stop being garbage.
Logan, we'll go see DC movies.
There, Wyatt and I will go because
go.
we're
I
actual
wanna see
fans.
them,
No,
but-
no, you don't care.
I don't.
You don't give
I don't.
two farts.
I'm the guy who thought The Dark Knight was awesome, but
Dark Knight is awesome.
The Dark Knight is
All of
awesome.
them are
That's not
incredible.
the
trilogy's
point.
good.
Yeah.
But DC has said that they're going to start making their movies less gritty and dark because people don't want that.
yeah.
They were in the Zack Snyder mood, which worked with 300, and then after that they were like, let's just keep making this same, like just keep
Well-
doing that, and that doesn't work with Superman and Batman.
Yeah, it's not that people didn't want it necessarily. It's that I don't think they did it well.
No, they didn't do it
300 works well.
Because that's the thing, right? Like, the Dark Knight trilogy is dark and
Yeah,
gritty,
that
and
works.
it's like,
But it's
and
perfect
it was
for the characters.
awesome. Yeah, but I mean, I think you could do the whole thing is Batman killed like at least 40 people in BVS.
Really.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
no.
yeah.
That's probably a light number of people he murdered in
Haven't
that
seen it,
movie.
so I don't know.
He murdered lots of people.
Wow, that's not Batman.
No,
Well, I mean, it's a version of Batman.
Version. That's true. That's true.
not my Batman.
It was weird.
But I will pre-order Aquaman the day that it is announced for pre-order.
Wait,
I will own the collector's edition of it if they have one.
the movie?
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, that movie's not even.
it's gonna be good.
I
It's gonna
can't
be
wait. Oh,
I'll
Flash!
see it.
I'm so excited for
Flash
Flash.
movie's gonna be cool.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have covered movies.
All right, that all for movies.
That was good.
All right.